On sunnuntai jälleen. Oikein hyvää sunnuntaita kaikille ja tervetuloa Yksi joukkue, monta tarinaa. Tänään meillä on joukkueemme kapteeni Alexander Bonsaksen vieraana. You welcome, captain.
Thank you.
Where have you been? You haven't played in several weeks now.
Yeah, I've been out now 4 weeks, 4.5. Yeah, small.
Since Halloween.
Since Halloween, so no, but small injury, but I am back very shortly now.
Okay, hey, let's go many years back. You're from Norway. What kind of sports you was playing or your hobbies like early years?
A lot. I played almost any sport I could. I played hockey, soccer. I did snowboarding, floorball. I tried almost any sports, but it came down to we played hockey and soccer, and we were the same team, so same group of guys. So in winter we played hockey, and then in summer we switched and played soccer.
Yeah.
So we were the same bunch of guys, like 15, 20 guys that stayed together from, I don't know, 5 years to maybe when you start in 15 years old. So it was pretty good group, and I think that's also why many of those guys became hockey players, and some went pro to Finland, Sweden, NHL from that age. So a pretty good group of guys.
How about the football side?
We had one guy, goaltender, played in top league in Norway and in US, and one midfielder or defenseman. He's been playing in top leagues in Sweden and Norway, so we got a few soccer players. But
this group, you still have contact with those guys?
Yeah, of course. So usually I meet those guys in the summer when I get back home, and we have dinner and something else too.
Yeah, barbecue.
Yeah.
But why you choose hockey? Was you better in hockey than football?
I don't know if I was better, but I liked the speed, the battles more. That it was a little bit tougher than soccer. But our team was quite good in both. Like we win everything as kids in soccer and hockey. So we were quite good in both. But most guys chose hockey because it was a little bit more fun, a little bit more. What do you say when you're a kid? You can be a little bit more, shit kid. It's allowed to be a little bit break the rules in hockey compared to soccer. So I think maybe that's why. And also my dad, he's not a sportsman. I'm only sports guy in family. Rest of my family work in bank, so it's a little bit weird. I became a hockey player, but my dad always liked hockey better because it was tougher. So,
but with these guys, how about skiing? Because I think it's #1 sport anyway in Norway.
Skiing is huge in Norway, but I'm from Oslo, like a little bit downtown. So I'm on the concrete, not in the woods with skis. But of course, I've been doing that when I was young. Everybody does that. When as soon as it's snow outside, you go skiing, or maybe you ski to school if it's enough snow. But I never liked cross-country skiing that much. I like more downhill, more speed.
But before we continue with your career, why Norway is so big sport country? I always talking about skiing, but now the hockey is growing little by little all the time. But hey, hurdles in men. What's his name?
Karsten.
Warholm, hey, come on. Then you have one of the biggest name in football future. Holland.
Yeah, it's now coming like a bunch of young guys. Actually, we have a golf player, Victor Hovland. He's in the top in the world in golf now. He's 21, 22. Same age tennis player Casper Ruud, 21, 22. He's top 10 in tennis in the world. Haaland, this soccer player, everybody knows him, same age. Ødegaard signed in Real Madrid when he was, 15, 16. So it's a young generation for those big worldwide sports. And then it's always been skiing, cross-country skiing, it's national sport and huge in Norway. But it's hard to say. We've always been good in certain sports. Like we struggle in hockey. It's not that big in Norway. We're trying or working hard to get it bigger. Soccer, we are that's quite big sport, but the league maybe in Norway is not that big.
Yeah, but for example, Norway ladies football has been in top 5.
Yeah, national team there has been in the top, and then we have handball.
Yes,
dominated for many years on the women's side, and now the men's are also good now.
But if we take the whole Scandinavia. Maybe at the moment, right now, the Norwegian sport is number 1.
Yeah, maybe.
If
that's
we're
true.
looking at the big stars between Sweden or Finland, so
yeah, maybe.
Denmark have football and handball or something like that.
But cycling, they're good.
Yes.
But we have managed to get, even though.
Is it about the program or by the money?
I think it's about when you look at those guys that are top now in the world, like Carsten Warholm, he has followed his program with his coach.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like they have followed the Norwegian program.
Mm-hmm.
They have found their way. If you take those Ingebrigtsen, those runners, 1,500, 3,000, 5,000.
How many are they? They're almost
10,
one sister.
Biggest
also.
family in Norway. but those guys, their dad is famous now in Norway for his way. They are doing his way. So it's kind of, the superstars we're getting, they're going their own way, breaking out from the system. But I think that is also how it has to be in all sports. The top players in any sport, they go their own way, but
do the system support that?
Of course,
this way?
They support them. So they if they need help, they get whatever help they need, and the system is always there to help, and system maybe is trying to get the masses. So to get more people,
because in Finland it's different way. You have to be in the system.
Yeah.
More than you do your own way.
Yeah.
All right, but hey, then you start. How old you was when you choose ice hockey?
I think I quit soccer when I was 13, maybe 14. Yeah, that around 13, 14. Then I decided that now it's only hockey, and then summers became summer practice and off ice practice.
As defenseman?
I've been defenseman my whole life. So never forward or so, but
we know as you as number 47. How long have you been number 47, and is there any story behind the number?
Not a real story. I when I was junior, I played with 23, I think, but that was just because I was given it, and then I chose 38 because that was one of my heroes in my hometown in Vålerenga. I won Demon. That was very tough that I like to watch, and so I had his number in U18, U20, and then when I got close to the men's team, I had I wanted to have 44. Like when I got called up to the men's team, I wanted 44, but that was like a team, like a legend in the team. Older guy had 44, so that was no chance.
Yeah.
And luckily 1D that year when I had my first game with the men's team when I was 17. But then the next year I played full season with them, and so then I got like a number. So they had 1D that retired that year. That had 47, and he was like pretty tough guy that I like to see on the ice. So then I took 47 also because it was close to 44. And then that kind of just became my number, 47. After that, I've had 47 my whole career since I was 18.
Yeah, so
I
it's
have one year
15, 16 years.
Yeah, I have 1 year in Sweden with 7, but that was in Rögle because it was not allowed to have numbers over 36 or 40 or something. But then I worked that first season. I worked hard up in the office and did a little bit lobby, and then I changed the rules, so next year I had 47.
It's always nice to hear the stories about the number, because you have some idol or whatever reason there is for the number. So 47, yeah, nice. So do you have, what kind of idols you had outside Oslo in hockey?
When I was young, I kind of only had like players in my home team because that was like my dream to play for. You know, when I was young and like in the 90s, it was pretty popular. So it was 5,000 at the games. It was big games and a lot of noise. And so my heroes were the guys in the men's team. And then luckily I got to play with a few of them when I came up as a young guy. So that was my dream to play there. But then after that, then I start to look onwards and try, could I be pro? Could I go to Sweden? So but I never had like really some NHL.
Did you saw NHL?
Of course, I was watching, and my favorite team was Colorado when I was young. So and the story where Ray Bourque went from Boston to Colorado to win his last year, and he won. So that was huge. So I was following Ray Bourque a little bit. My size, he was maybe my size in the body, and maybe he, of course, he's way better, but a little bit similar player style. So he was a guy I looked up to when I was younger.
Okay, but you said that you would like to play pro in Norway, but with your left side you was watching, and it was Sweden.
Yeah, and it was kind of when I came up 17, 18, and then I got my first year. I played every game because I was told before the season you're gonna get maybe 20 games. We test you this year, but then we had injuries, so I played every single game and it went fine. So. Timing and luck, and of course I took the chance. But then after that year, and then I started to build and get better and bigger, and I started to notice that this is maybe what I want to do. Maybe make some money on it. Like when I came up, I played for free my first year. I got equipment. Second year, I made food like for lunches. So it was never about the money, it was that I had that dream to play for my men's team, and then I started to dream bigger for Sweden or NHL or the big leagues, and I made a decision when I was in my fourth year in Norway, because I was playing, it was the best team. We had won it championship 2 times when it came to my fourth year, and then I decided this year either I go pro after this season or I have to start study or work, or that time we practiced 4:30 so guys could work beside hockey.
Okay.
So it was like I was like either I go pro next year or I have to.
Did you work at the same time in some Chinese restaurant or something?
A Thai place. No, but I had in the summer I helped out as a carpenter, just cleaning and not because I'm not that handy, but helping out in the summer to have pocket money. But it was. I decided my last year that this is it. Either I go pro next year or I have to try to study or find a job or something. So I had like a plan that until Christmas I work really hard. We have games, but of course, every morning, because I'm not working, every morning I either have ice time with the guys that didn't work or I did gym. It didn't matter if I had game that night. So I did this until Christmas, and then let go on the load of practice, so I had more energy, and then just focus on games after Christmas. And luckily it worked out that year. I started to play for the national team. That was my first year in the national team. And
before we go to the national teams and Olympic Games, World Championship, you've been playing in Sweden. Let's say I have over here 3 seasons, in Finland already 7. In Tappara, and then KooKoon, and you win also 2 championship in Tappara, and then of course Norway. What of course it have to be that Sweden and Finnish league is better than Norwich league, but what do you say about those 3 leagues? And of course you have also one season in Iserharn Del League.
Yes, yeah, it's to compare the leagues is always a little bit difficult, but the main difference between Norwegian league and Sweden, Finland, even Germany is the tempo. It's higher tempo and more, the level is higher, much higher. So it's a lot of guys that...
And more good teams,
yes,
right?
Of course, and it's like now Norwegian league is more tight, but it used to be that it was top 4 and the rest was shit, kind of.
Oh yeah.
So you knew every year, you knew who is in like top 2. You knew who was going to be final in championship. But that has leveled out now. So I think it's better. But The main difference is, you know, tempo and professionalism. You know, here it's professional. Many teams in Norway are still not professional. So that is a big difference, of course. But it's like, if you take Germany, for example, they have the money to back up, you know, to be a really pro league. But in my opinion, they do it very wrong. They have, you know, you can have 11 imports, but many teams have almost 20 because they give double passports. So they don't bring up enough Germans, I think, that maybe they should to develop their league and you know, but they're taking the shortcut, you know. They pay players good money to come there, but they don't have junior organizations and, you know, building it step by step like Sweden have done, Finland have done. And
it was the same problem in Switzerland 15 years ago.
And then they started,
yeah.
Yes. So that is a big difference. Like hockey-wise, Germany is way more open league, more chances. You know, people do a lot more points there compared to here, and Sweden. This is more defensive league compared to Germany.
KooKoon vastaan Pelicans. Perjantaina Lumon areenalla.
Pelaa paikallisen mediakumppanisi kanssa ja maksimoi mahdollisuutesi voittoon. Kysy lisää monimediallisista mainosratkaisuistamme Kymenlaakson mediamyynnistä.
Rakkaat siskot, hyvät veljet, karaoke on momentum game. Tarvitaan oikeat prinsiipit, etäisyys, tendenssi. Jolene, let's go!
After Sweden, you came back to Vålerenga, and you have 3 championship in Norway, 2 in Finland, and I'm sorry, but they are not yet in KooKoon, but they came in Tappara. How you remember those years in Tappara and championship?
Of course, great years. Like one of my best years in my career. That was it was kind of, you know, I went from Norway. I went to Sweden to become a pro. It was like my first 2 years in Modo. It was very hard competition, and I was young. We had many older guys coming from NHL. It was hard to get a spot in the roster. I was on a loan to one of the worst teams in Allsvenskan my last year in Modo, and then I went to Rögle, and that was in the second league, and then we went up. So it was like I went pro at this level, but then I had to adjust to come back to that level, kind of. And when I went home, it was like I had only one goal, and that was to get out again of Norway, because I knew the longer I stayed, the less chance I have to become pro again. And so I was kind of just waiting, you know. And then luckily Lasse Kukkonen called me and asked if I wanted to take a chance on their agency, because he just started a hockey agency with some fellow national team players and former players. And I said, yeah, of course. And then it went 1-2 months. And
how you met Lasse?
Lasse I played with in Rögle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Him and Altonen in Kärpät. I think I was their first client in the agency, and it went 1.5 or 2 months, and then Tappara came on, you know, and gave him an offer to come. And like I remember my agent called me and said, hey, what do you think about Finland? I said, what do you mean? Yeah, Tappara needs a D. They've been, you know, losing games and this and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, no question. You know, I didn't even ask him anything. I said, of course. And I got that phone call on a Saturday. We had game, and I said that before the game, and then after the game I had the text that the deal is done. You leave on Sunday. And then I went to the coaches and said, hey boys, thank you for this year. I get the chance to go out again. So, and then I went to the GM and told him, and then it was goodbye, and then jump on the plane Sunday, and then practice Monday and game on Tuesday. So it was quick, but it was best decision I made ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had the mindset I just want a new chance. So when I came there, I had nothing to lose. You know,
But you know, 2 champions in Tappara, 3 years, and but then 1 year in Germany.
Yeah.
Before to KooKoon.
Yeah.
Was it a mistake or good about why you went to Dell?
It was.
You couldn't stay here. There was no contract waiting here in Finland.
No, that was not the problem. Like we won 2 years in a row, and I had quite a good season. My last season in Tappara.
I saw that you had plus 23.
Yeah, it was good year, but it was not about that. It was, you know, I had such a good years in Tappara and in the Finnish league, and you know, 1-2 times, and it was kind of I knew Tappara when they signed Ratakorpi. I knew in November that I'm not staying. He wanted different Ds, and so I was like, okay, that's fine, no problem. And then I was starting to looking for new team, and okay, I've talked to many teams in Finland, and I had you know, many different offers in the league, but I felt like I 1-2 times I had such a good time. I felt like if I go to a different Finnish team, it's not going to be the same, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like it's not going to be as good, maybe. You know, we did so well, so I wanted to do something totally different, and I've always wanted to go to Germany and see how it is with I think they have the best fans in hockey. Every game, you know, every game, everywhere you play, sold out, singing, everybody's nuts. It's crazy atmosphere. So I always wanted to try that atmosphere and check out Germany. So that was maybe I did. Maybe when I look back, maybe I did wrong decision what team I chose. But that is, you know, you never know. Like the GM was here watching games, and you know, he was very, very on to make this happen. You make the deal, and you know, maybe I should have did a little bit more background checking about the club and everything. You know, it wasn't really what I was told or expected. You know, but same time, it's for me. I look at it as a great experience, and it was fun. Even though like the hockey maybe wasn't that good, but it was a good experience, and then it was back here.
Yeah, but you left Finland as a champion, and then someone called that there is a place in KooKoon.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. How it happened.
You have to ask Jarno, but I think my agent talked to Jarno, or you know, they reached out and asked if I wanted to come here, and yeah. Nothing special. I think maybe we talked briefly before I went to Germany as well, or you know, so nothing mind blowing, but that was all Jarno.
Yeah, and at the same time, KooKoon started to grow up on the table.
Yeah, and it's been a long journey for us. I think now it's my fourth year, and you know, to see where we come from, where we started. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good journey we had.
Yeah. But then we go to your national team experience. 182 games. You had 3 Olympic Games. You didn't... actually, you took 1 gold from the Olympic Games, right?
Yeah.
Wife.
Of course, you have to be smart.
13 games in Olympic Games and 10 times in World Championship and 169 games. Tell me about the national team, Olympic Games and World Championship, when you, small guy who played football in Oslo, are in Olympic teams.
I think for me it's you know, always been a huge honor to play for the national team. I always looked upon that as a huge honor, and you know, I'm very proud of playing for the national team. It's like it's not many guys that can say you represent your country, you know, even though hockey might not be that big in Norway, but the feeling we have and with the team, and you know, my first years in the national team, we had the coach Roy Johansson. He was there 16 years. And the job he done is phenomenal for Norwegian hockey, and how he built the national team, and you know, our team, it was like, you know, everybody's coming from different leagues and everywhere and different points in their career, but when we get to the national team, everybody is there for the same thing, and it's always fun. So it's always been like a kind of safe place, you know, when if you have a tough season here, you go to national team break in November and you feel great again, you know, you get energy, it's so fun. So it's kind of meeting, like we've been now same group for 10-15 years in national team. Like, you know, my age is 10-15 guys. So it's, you know, almost like you go, not vacation, but you go on a boys trip, you know.
Could you ever manage with the football ice hockey team at those years that you play 3 Olympic Games and 10 World Championship?
No.
But now, unfortunately, after big meetings and everything, you aren't at the Olympic Games in Beijing. I don't mean you, okay? You ain't either, but...
Yeah, no, it's been from what I like. Of course, we lost the qualification fair and square to Denmark. Nothing to say on that. And then now it's been discussions back and forth with China if they should keep their spot because they have imports and all this and blah blah blah. But yesterday actually it was a deadline for them to have passports for their imports, Chinese passport. It was 11:59 was deadline to have passports in order, and then today is the meeting which the Olympic Committee or IOC or something decide if they are in or out.
Really?
So it's today they
So
decide.
you are waiting?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But I think they will keep their spot. It would be first time in history somebody are not allowed to be in the Olympics when you are supposed to be there.
But hey, in the end now, so when you became a captain, how you became a captain? Have you been captain since 15 years or 20 or in Finland or KooKoon or national team? Why you are captain? Why you are a good captain?
I don't know. I of course, like I'm a team guy. You know, I always put the team first. I've done that my whole career. From when I was like small, it's always been about, you know, the team and winning. I think that my mentality has always been winning. You know, no matter what, you try to win. And I always try to bring that, even though, you know, if I'm playing here or in Sweden or Norway or Germany, whatever.
So you've been captain as a junior?
No, not the captain, but maybe being one of the leaders in the team. And you know, early national team actually, when I came in there as, you know, 22, 23, when we had those tournaments in November and December, and you know, early on I got letters when I was young, and that was like quite surprised for many of the older guys. And you know, and now here I was assistant captain for KAHU, and then I became the captain, and it's for me, it's, you know, who has the C or A, it's not the most important thing. It's more about that you get the whole group together and that you lead together. That is the whole mission for us, I think, and that's, you know, what I try to do as a captain. If you say you lead the team, I try to lead, you know, that we lead together. That is the main mission.
What happened next? Are you become coach in 5 or 10 years?
I have no idea. I don't know if I have the patience to be a coach. You have to be really patient and and bite your lip many times, I think, when you see us go around and doing mistakes all the time. So.
Hey, Mr. Captain Alexander Bonsaksen, thank you for visiting us.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.